Go.
There's actually a tool for this, and it's sort of like a carpenter's clamp, but it's got a rounded piece that fits over the seat, and then you can tighten up at it and hold the brake pedal in place. All I did here is use a level and forced it into the seat, and just put a couple boards here so it wouldn't pop back up, and it seems to be holding. At least it's been holding for the last hour. Okay, first thing I'm going to do here is install the new wheel cylinder, and it gets a new O-ring first, and then I'm going to pop the plug for the brake hose. Just turn the bolts in by hand, and I'm going to tighten them up.
What? No torque spec?
It probably is, but I can't see that it matters. Oh, and then I'm ready to put the hose back on. Do you want?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Then next thing is to put the brake hose fitting back in. You want to make sure that when you're starting this, that you start it straight so that you don't cross-thread it as it goes in. It's a little tricky, because you sort of have to apply it. Okay, a few curse words later, the brake line fitting is in, so don't feel bad if it takes you more than a minute to put it in. There are 8 points that should be lubricated on the backing plate. There, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait. Start those points over again.
Okay.
Go ahead. Give me the points.
There's 8 points that need to be lubricated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on either side of this anchor on the bottom.
Okay.
Service manual says to install the upper spring, this guy. This goes in these small slots right below the top hole. And it said, the service manual says to install these first, as well as the adjusting screw. The longer side of this has a longer piece on it than this side does, goes on the same side as the parking brake lever. So that's how you orient it. So you assemble this, and what you're going to do is this piece has a longer slot on the bottom the parking brake lever goes behind the brake shoe, and that parking brake lever is actually going to fit in this longer slot. So don't try and get this to seat right at this point, because when we get to the point where we assemble the parking brake lever, we'll slide that in and it'll all fit in place. Here's my point. The service manual tells you to assemble this, because our next step is to get this pin on the parking brake lever into this hole and get a E-clip on it. I could not do that by holding this together and assembling it. So I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to assemble the rear brake shoe first by putting it through the pin, which, by the way, there's a spring washer that goes on the pin first, and then your brake shoe. And what I do is I take pliers, press it, and then slide the E-clip in. Which isn't as easy as it sounds. There we go. Then I move this up into place. You have to spin the piston around so that the slot lines up. Do that for the other side too. With that held in place, long end of the adjusting screw slides over both the shoe and the parking brake bracket, and then put this guy on here. The adjusting lever is going to also go in this slot. Again, there's a longer slot to receive the adjusting lever. That, in this case, is going to go towards the front.
Got it.
And then we're ready to put the new top spring on. Which is also not as easy